morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for giving us an opportunity to present here. We are Team Tofa. I am Nandini Devi, and my teammates are Manisha and Nikila. Our project for this RPATools Hackathon is TOHFA, a chatbot for organ donor recipient and registration. And we are third year BTech Information Technology students from Sri Ramakrishna Engineering College. Organ donation is one of the greatest advances in the medical history. Medical experts claim that if one person donates his organ, it will be used for 50 peoples. Unfortunately, the current need for the organ donor is highly greater than the number of people do it. This is because of the unawareness between the people, and also the registration process for this is a tedious one. So we are proposing a chatbot for the same. Chatbots are the AI-based computer programs that simulates the conversation. They are also known as the digital assistant uh, uh, that understand the human capabilities. Our TOFA chatbot is built using the Druid AI and UiPath RPA. It facilitates the registration for the organ recipient and donors. Uh, the users can be registered either as a donor or the recipient. So after the registration, an automated mail will be sent to them, and their data are stored. Its operational efficiency and the reduction in the manual process makes it as an excellent choice for the registration process.
For our chatbot, we are using three main technologies. WhatsApp is used as a channel for talking to the chatbot. Druid is used to develop our chatbot. And UiPath RPA is used for others. In UiPath RPA, we use orchestrator where we are storing the intermediate results. We are sending our request and response, which is stored as a UiPath queue item. And we use UiPath Studio to develop our process, and the UiPath assistant will run the process. The process starts with the donor or recipient. He starts the chat using one of the channel like WhatsApp, which we are using here, which is comes under the Druid designer. The channel is connected to our Druid using a conversation handler. So in Druid, we have a request and response entity where as soon as the donor or recipient starts the chat, it starts adding his details. So we collect the user's personal details as well as his emergency contact details. Now, this chatbot is integrated with with UiPath RPA. After collecting his details, the request entity is sent to the UiPath orchestrator. From the orchestrator, we are getting that queue item in the UiPath Studio, and we will deserialize the data. So after processing the data, we will store the details in an Excel sheet as well as send the automatic email response to the user based on whether he is a donor or recipient. Now we can see the demo.
Good morning all. Let's start see how the demo works. So this is the registration process starts. It starts for two options like you want to query or register. Then it starts to about donor or recipient. Then if you want to be a donor, then it starts about your name, gender, like all the personal details it want, like contact number, your mail ID, then about all your details, your blood group, then the emergency contact number, all these, like these informations. As you can see, the emergency name and how they related to you, all these personal details will be asked. Once the personal detail is asked, it will be asking for your confirmation. Let's see how. See, this has been added to queue. Then it will ask for your confirmation. If you give yes, then it will start its process. The orchestrator is connected at backend. So you can see the chatbot processing, right? Data processing. That added to the queue, it starts processing. After it gets successful, you can see the details as what all given. It's been added to the queue. Then all these informations will be stored in the Excel. Then you will be notified via email for the registration confirmation with your donor ID or recipient ID. This is what the information or all the information input is being stored over here. Then after your registration is successful, you will be a message here with your ID number. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manisha, Nicola, and Nandini.
So have you thought of scaling it up in any way? You're speaking on mute, Manisha.
No.
We can add. We can also add is for blood donation.
Okay.
We can segregate for different organs and for different blood groups. According to it, we can make it as a holistic project.
Okay. So just a suggestion in here, when somebody actually puts in their query that they want to have a donor, or if they're coming as a recipient, you generate an ID and give it to them.
Yes, ma'am.
So there should also be an option wherein they can track their ID,
Yes, ma'am.
like where in the stage the process is lying.
Yes, ma'am.
And all in all, the idea is pretty good. Well
Thank you.
presented also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anmol. Observers, any questions from you?
Yeah, Manisha, Nandini, definitely a very good use case. One quick question. So is this chatbot on the WhatsApp or let's say on the URL, is it a machine learning based and as an AI conversational chatbot, or it looks for the options that are given over there on?
We don't need AI for this because it's just collecting the data. So it is directly integrated with the Droid chatbot as a channel in the Droid chatbot. So after taking this, we are planning to develop it using AI to segregate it.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions from anyone else before I wrap it up?
Yeah, just a quick question from my end as well. This is Nidhi. So Nandini and Manisha, first of all, a very good use case and very well presented. As far as scaling is concerned, since it is related to the healthcare department, right, where the data privacy is a concern. I just wanted to know how you are storing the patient's data or the organ or the donor or the recipient's data. How you are making sure that the data is private.
Yes, ma'am. We are first directly we are segregating it to a donor or recipient, ma'am. Right now we are just storing the details. We are not doing anything else. We are in the Excel sheet. Maybe I will show
We are
it to
storing
you.
it in the Excel sheet, ma'am. Just we are storing the info.
Okay. That's again another feedback. So there's something called as storage buckets or something in the orchestrator where the data could be private. Or make sure, right? This is something you are taking all the personal details of a person, right? So
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
as far as the POC is concerned, this is great. But yeah.
Thank you so much, Nidhi, for that insight. Now, few things for you, Nikhila, Manisha, and team. Now, you have done a wonderful use case. From POC point of view, it's very, very good. Few things to take note of. I'm sure you might be taking notes of the comments from this judges, right? Yes. Number one, when you scale it up, improve those readability, because that's the user experience part. No one wants to type a whole question, right? Rather, they could want 1, 2, 3 options, right? That's one thing which you can improve on. Second, data security, definitely. So that gives you an option to explore new features within UiPath about storage buckets and data services. Utilize that to store information. And as you grow, right, when you come to corporate world, you will have a data privacy coming into picture, right? Especially in the US and in other parts of the world, where any personal data you cannot disclose, you cannot store in Excel without their consent. So I know you are taking consent there, but
Yes,
still,
sir.
from purging point of view, when you build a use case, how much you are retaining data, how many days, right? What are you doing to purge those data? Think in that direction as well, which will help you in future, right,
Okay, sir.
Manisha, Nikhila? And also, Anmol made a good point about enhancing it to different sections, which you answered pretty well, right? But then uh, connect with Anmol, connect with Nidhi. They will give you idea on how to scale it up on a bigger scale and how can we utilize it further. Right,
Yes,
Nikhila,
sir.
Manisha? With that being said, wonderful presentation. I hope you win. All the best for your future and all the best for the hackathon as well. Stay on the call while you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.